Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I am so excited to share with you this over-the-top spring Easter mantle. We are going to be crafting and decorating and putting together this fabulous mantle with some easy DIY Dollar Tree and Target dollar spot decor crafts. So I would love to have you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel, punch that bell if you love to craft, decorate, tidy, and bake. I would love to have you guys. I have a $100 Hobby Lobby gift card going on as well. So let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns. Get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. For the first DIY, I want to share with you all how to create a super adorable jelly bean Peep arrangement. So you're going to need 6 bags of little 98-cent jelly beans, a large cylinder vase. I found this one at Walmart, and then a smaller Dollar Tree vase to pop down inside of your larger vase. You're going to use 3 bags of your 98-cent speckled jelly bean eggs. You can also find these at Dollar Tree, I'm sure. And then I'm going to use these cute little pink Peeps. Now the Peeps came from Walmart and they're $1.28 for a pack, and I did use 2 packs for this entire project of the pink ones and then 2 packs of the yellow ones. And they were so perfect. They slid directly down into this cylinder vase without me even having to pull them apart. I was worried when I pulled them apart you'd be able to see like the little marshmallows, but they just slide directly down inside of there. Now there was a little bit of a gap back behind my Peeps, and I knew I needed to fill in the next layer with more jelly beans, and I only had 3 more packs of jelly beans. So I came up with the idea to take some little mini marshmallows and kind of stuff those back behind my Peeps. So in case that happens to you guys, there's a solution for that. Okay, so now I'm just going to add in my next 3 bags of jelly beans and then another layer of Peeps. And how fun and fabulous is this, you guys? Oh my goodness, this is so perfect to do with kiddos or grandkids, and I was just so amazed with this. I don't know, I guess little things get me. But anyway, I went ahead and added that next layer of Peeps, and then I just added in some pretty little fresh flowers. So here is how it looks after I get my whole vase done. So fun and easy to do. And then I trimmed off my flowers so they kind of dropped perfectly down into there. And these are just some little fresh wildflowers from Walmart. They sell them like $4 a bundle, and I used 2 bundles to fill up the Dollar Tree vase. Now, hindsight 2020, it probably would have been a better idea to have used fake wildflowers, but I'm already running low on some of my fake flowers and I just wasn't thinking about it. But now I'm wondering how I'm going to change the water out to put new flowers in. So comment down below if you guys have a good idea on how I'm going to be able to change that water out without disturbing my Peeps vase. I'm thinking maybe I could use a shop vac. Would that be weird to do? Anyway, comment down below. I'll be interested to see what you guys say. So here is how it turned out though. So adorable and springtime fabulous. And again, just such an easy, fun little DIY. I have been wanting to try this forever, and I was so excited to finally have the opportunity and that it actually worked fairly easily. So again, the larger vase was from Walmart and that smaller one that dropped down into it was from Dollar Tree. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take 6 of those foam eggs, and the Dollar Tree foam eggs come 6 to a pack. And then I'm going to take this beautiful Mackenzie Childs napkin, and I'm going to create some really unique, beautiful eggs. So I'm going to take some Mod Podge and add a layer of Mod Podge to my foam egg. And then I'm going to take the napkin and overlay it onto the egg. Now, I did not pull the napkin apart from the white inner layer of the napkin. So a napkin usually has an inner layer on the back of it and then the pretty part on the front. I feel like it leaves more of the little flower napkin available to view in its original color if I leave that white part on. I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to explain. But I do have to add a little bit more Mod Podge to it, so it kind of makes it maybe a little bit more wrinkly, but in my opinion, it's worth it to keep those vibrant colors. So I just got one layer done, and then I'm cutting out the next layer. Now, a good little trick too is to wash your hands in between, like as you're adding things on. That way the glue from your fingers doesn't pull up the other side of your napkin. That's just a little tip. I know somebody said they were having a hard time with one of their projects because the napkin was pulling up. If you try to keep your hands without glue on them, which is kind of hard to do when you're Mod Podging a small project like that, but maybe that will be a little tip to help you. So again, you want to lay down a layer of Mod Podge underneath your napkin, and then I add a generous layer on top of it. It does make it to where though they need to dry for quite some time, so it took several hours for these little cuties to dry. Now I'm going to use another Mackenzie Childs napkin, and that floral napkin was from Mackenzie Childs as well, but this one I'm going to do a check one. So I'm just using the black and white check napkin. And again, I did buy the napkins off the Mackenzie Childs website, but I will tell you that a pack of their napkins has lasted me an entire year worth of projects. All the DIYs I've shared with you guys, I've used that same old pack of napkins. So just to let you guys know about that, they're really fun to craft with. But you guys can also find pretty napkins at Dollar Tree, Tuesday Morning, TJ Maxx, Target, Walmart has some beautiful napkins. So just keep your eye out, find something you love, and go for it. And again, I'm doing the same process here, except for I did not cut the napkin apart. I'm just laying it down in one huge layer because I do have a bunch more eggs to do, and I wanted to get this show on the road. Now, it did make it a little bit lumpy in the back part, but it wasn't too bad, and I'm just going to pop it into a floral anyway, so I was okay with that. But if you want to get particular and cut it out, you can do that as well. So whatever works and whatever you decide to do. Now here it is, popped into my cute little Easter display, and I was so crushing on it. Oh my goodness, and I cannot wait to share with you guys a step-by-step tutorial on how to put together this entire Easter display. Oh my goodness, so much blooming fun for spring. Now for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys a super creative and fun way to use these Dollar Tree paper butterflies. So they come in a huge pack, and I buy them and I never quite know what to do with them. But here's a fun thing you can do. You can take a mini clothespin and hot glue that mini clothespin to the back of your butterfly. And they may even stick with just Elmer's glue. I'm just thinking about that now. If you were trying to do this with kids and you didn't want to use hot glue, but they may need some drying time. Anyway, I like the instant results of hot glue, but I decided to go a little bit extra and add some bling to the wings of my butterfly, which I thought was so fun and fabulous. So Dollar Tree sells these beautiful bling jewels, and they come on an adhesive pack. And so all you have to do is cut the jewels apart, and you can make them fit the size of your project, which is really nice as well. And the adhesive works really well on paper. I did these on glass pumpkins during fall, and my adhesive on some parts didn't quite go as well as planned, so I had to use extra glue. When you're putting them on paper, I haven't found a problem with them pulling up, so no big deal there. And then I really blinged out my larger butterflies, and then with the smaller butterflies, I just did one strand of bling jewels. The other thing that you guys can do is take some of these butterflies and glue them on top of each other. So the smaller ones glue on top of the larger butterfly. I did that with a couple of mine, and it's going to give it almost like a 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional effect, depending on how many butterflies you glue on there. So that's just another little fun tip, but have fun with it, get creative, get that bling out, and make some beautiful butterflies. And these are going to pop perfectly into my spring display. So here is how my butterflies turned out, and then I just popped the clothespin open and they're ready to pop into a beautiful display. And then there's those pretty eggs that we just made with a little decoupage on them, and I just thought that they really brought this display to life. They made it very artistic and creative. And then there's one of my little two-dimensional butterflies, so you can see that the wings were kind of popped out. So here's kind of like a little bit of an overview. I love the added effects of the butterflies. I don't think I've ever used butterflies in one of my displays before, but my daughter was really loving it as well. So if you have kiddos, add some of those little whimsical touches. It will really catch their eye and bring a smile to their face. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super cute, super easy little Dollar Tree popsicle stick cross. So you're going to take 3 popsicle sticks and then hot glue 2 of the popsicle sticks together to make the long part of your wooden cross, and then let that dry for just a sec or two. And then once that's dry, you can pop another dab of hot glue onto the top part of it and create the cross part. Now, if you're doing this with kiddos, help them with the hot glue part, but you guys could also use Elmer's glue and then just give it some drying time. And then the next step is to get creative and personalize your cross. Paint it or add some jewels to the center to it, or, you know, a little saying, whatever it is you want to add to your cross. I knew that I wanted to paint mine and pop mine into my bunny basket right next to my mantle. And so I'm painting mine with some white chalk paint, and the chalk paint, I only needed to use 1 layer and it absorbed really nicely and looked just fine. You could also wood stain this with like a little bit of, you know, wood rub or a wood stain, and that would be really nice as well. So personalize it to suit your fancy and to match into your decor. And I will tell you that I did paint both sides of my cross. You could also double up with the popsicle sticks and make it a little bit thicker if you wanted to. That was an idea that just popped into my head as I was thinking about this. So have fun with it and get creative. Again, this would be a great project for kiddos or all ages. I love finding projects that everybody can do together and that are really inexpensive and budget friendly. So this was a fun, easy cross, and you guys can really personalize it and make it your own. And then once I had painted my cross and I let it dry for a bit, I decided to dig through my jewel stash and find a pretty bling jewel to go into the center of it. And I wanted to make it really special. You could also make it a memory cross and do like your loved one's brooch or a pretty jewel piece, but I'm just going to add a dab of hot glue to either side of my bling jewel. And this is a bling jewel from totallydazzled.com. You guys, I love Natalie. She is such a sweetie pie. She's a small business and I love supporting small businesses, so check her out. I'll leave the link in the description box below for you. But here is how it turned out. I thought it was so pretty and magical and just beautiful, and then I popped it into my little Easter bunny basket. I just felt like that was just the perfect addition to show my faith and to really make it dazzling and beautiful. And for my little bunny to be carrying that, and I think it really shows in with the display as well. So here it is popped in to my display. Now for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to take one of those Dollar Tree big giant oversized Easter egg signs, and the sign is really cute as is, but I did buy a couple of extra to make some crafts with. I wanted to make a black and white check Mackenzie style child's style inspired sign. So I'm just chalk painting it front and back white, and I believe I did chalk paint the front twice to get really nice good coverage over those letters. And then the next step, of course, will be to paint some checks on here. So if you guys have not tried painting checks, I'm going to tell you it's really relaxing, especially if you relax and give yourself some grace. So I'm just taking this ruler and I'm drawing some black lines, but I will tell you I probably should have drawn my lines a little bit thicker. It gets a little bit more tedious if you have a lot of checks to paint, but I did have some time on my hands, so no biggie there. So I'm just drawing my horizontal lines, and you could also use painter's tape to space this out as well. I've done that before too. And then now I'm drawing my little vertical lines, and I do like to start out in the center of my project. And then I'm taking this black Sharpie and I'm marking an X for where I need to paint. Now I don't suggest actually doing that because I could kind of see the X showing through some of my paint. So it maybe kind of had to add extra paint. But if you have a tendency to jump the pattern, which I also do sometimes as well, it's not a bad idea. So I guess you could just kind of make like a little dot might be better than the big X. But now I'm just going to take my paintbrush, which I do like to buy a paintbrush about the size of my Chex. And this paintbrush I love. I think I bought it at Walmart. But I just lay down a layer of black paint. And I do like to drag my brush in with a little bit of white paint to kind of give it some dimension as well. So now that I have my black Chex painted, I like to go in with a little bit of white and gold paint on my brush. I don't wash my brush, I leave it with the black paint on there, and then I just drag that white and gold paint through my black Chex. Now if you study the Mackenzie Childs patterns, their artists are all doing hand painted black and white Chex as well, and so you can see little imperfections in the work. And so really this doesn't have to be a perfect project. You want to see some imperfections and you want to see some of the paint lines. Also, I noticed that they use like a cream color, so you may want to use a cream color as your base instead of the bright white, but have fun with it, get creative and paint some pretty Chex, and then get creative with it again and drag your brush through some white and gold paint just to give it kind of some dimension. Now this step is extra, you can just do black and white Chex too. But whatever floats your boat and whatever suits your fancy. And again, this is a fun project and I want to encourage you guys, it's only a $1 sign, so not much to be lost if you feel like you messed up, and that's what white paint is for, any of your mess ups. So here is popped into my little display, so fun and fabulous, and a nice little accent against some of the pastel. Now for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to create a super adorable bunny. So this is just one of those Dollar Tree plastic bunnies, and they come actually where you can kind of pull them apart, so you can actually have two bunnies, and they're fun to play with. I'm just going to lay down a layer of white chalk paint to start out with, and that's going to be my base color. I do love using chalk paint. A lot of you will ask me about that. It's because it dries fairly quickly, and it also will adhere to a plastic surface or a surface that's maybe kind of rough, and so that helps as well. So for my bunny, I decided to do a Mackenzie Childs inspired bunny. I have been drooling over their beautiful bunnies in their catalog. If you guys sign up for their catalogs, they'll send them to you for free if you just use your email. So I decided to draw black and white striped checks down my black and white stripes down my bunny, but I felt like my stripes were a little wobbly, so I decided to make it into some checks and to do some black and white check bunnies. Black and white checks on my bunny. Anyway, so I'm taking my paintbrush and I'm just going to begin to paint every other square black and then leaving the other square white. And then I like to go back in and drag my brush through the white and gold paint and layer that over the black. That's how I paint my checks, and I think it turns out pretty cute. So anyway, just have fun with it and get creative. Now you're going to be able to tell that This is a little bit more of a challenge to do checks on a curved project rather than a flat project, but I wanted to share with you guys, there's that Mackenzie Child's little catalog, and they do come free in the mail if you sign up with your email. If you guys want to do that, I just love getting them in the mail for every season. They're really beautiful. They're almost like a little magazine to me. But their bunnies on there, they did the whole bunny in black and white checks. So I end up doing that with this bunny, but it comes out pretty cute in the end. Anyway, have fun with it. Paint some checks on your little Dollar Tree plastic bunny. Again, it's only $1 bunny. If you guys mess up, just use a little white paint over it. It's not too super big of a deal. So I did decide to go in and paint my entire bunny with black and white checks on its face. Now, I'm not sure that was the best idea, but I think it ended up turning out pretty cute. But the black and white checks do kind of like make the face a little bit funky, but I do go back in and paint a nose and some eyes to kind of offset a little bit of that. So I'm painting my little checks here, and then I made like little striped edges on my ears. And then for my ears too, I do go back in and use some pink paint. Now, after I get all of my black checks painted, I go back in and usually mix in a little bit of white and gold and drag that through my black checks. But now I'm just painting my cute little pink nose and pink ears with some acrylic pink paint. And then I did give my bunny some blue eyes originally, but I kind of obsessed over the eyes. They were pretty tricky to do, and so my eyes ended up turning gray. Anyway, I like to go in with a DECOR premium paint pen. I buy these off of Amazon. I'll link some in my store, but I also get them at Michael's some too. You can use your coupon. They're really a nice paint pen, but Dollar Tree also carries a pretty nice little gold paint pen as well. So I went all the way around my bunny to make him super fancy and glammed up and bling with his gold, fanciness. And then there's me still trying to get those eyes right. Okay, so I added a pink bow, a little satin bow to the center of his neck, and then a beautiful bling jewel. You guys know me, I love my bling. I just think it adds a lot of really sparkle and shine. I just loved a nice bit of sparkle and shine. And here's how those packs of bling jewels come. I'll leave a link in my description box for the bling jewels. Natalie is amazing if you want to support a small business. Now for the next DIY, I thought it would be fun to mix things up a little bit and share a treat with you guys. This is a fun little Easter snack treat. It's a sugary treat, so beware. It's what they call Easter Bunny Chex Mix. So we're going to take 1 cup of chocolate chips, put that in a microwave safe bowl, half a stick of butter, pop that into your bowl as well, and then half a cup of peanut butter. Okay, this is going to be so delicious, you guys. I can't even tell you, it's so addictive. But again, it is a very sweet treat, so beware, only for treat's sake. Okay, the next thing I want to use is a teaspoonful of vanilla extract, and then I'm going to mix that entire mixture together. Okay, you also want to pop your little peanut butter chocolate chip mixture into your microwave for a minute. It's going to go in there for a minute long. Okay, then you're going to stir everything up here, give it a nice little stirry stir. And I did switch to a whisk because I really felt like my chocolate needed to be nice and stirred in there. Now, in a larger bowl, you're going to have all of your Chex Mix, but use a super large bowl. I made the mistake of not using a large enough bowl. You're going to need to stir. They suggested on the recipe to use a covered bowl and then just shake it up, but I don't have a covered bowl, so I'm doing my best here. Okay, so I'm adding the little chocolate drizzle, yummy goodness over the top of it, but you're going to want to kind of coat your Chex Mix to the best of your ability, depending upon the size of bowl and your ability to really get it mixed in, which I was pretty determined. I ended up transferring it to my big pasta pot. So if you don't have a big pot, use your big pasta pan. That will work as well. So anyway, this is just for me and my family, so no biggie there. Now I'm popping it into my big pasta pot, and I'm going to give it another little mixy. Try not to mix too hard because I didn't want to break up the Chex Mix too much. And then the next step to this is going to be adding your powdered sugar. It called for 2 cups of powdered sugar, which I felt like was a little bit too much. I would probably dial it back to maybe 1.5 cups, but this is the first time I've ever made this, so bear with me. I'm doing my best here, guys. Now I gave it another good shaky, mixy, and then I popped it back into my original little bowl there because that was the cute bowl, and I wanted to make it cute for when my fam bam came home. Okay, the next step is to add in some little fun goodies. So I just used some colorful Easter M&Ms. I found these at Walmart, and then also some sprinkles I found at Walmart. They're like $1.48 in the Easter section. So it made it really fun and festive, and this would be a great little snack to have like at a party. It's a really sugary snack, you guys. So only for treats only. I'm going to share a healthy snack next, I promise. Okay, but you can pop it into some little cute cupcakes or these little plaid little holders. I found those at Walmart for 99 cents. Okay, so for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a healthy Easter treat. So we made a super sugary treat in the last one, but now we're going to make a healthy one. You're going to take a little cookie cutter that's Easter related. I found these cookie cutters at Walmart for $1.48 for a 2-pack with the Easter head and the carrot, and you're just going to slice a watermelon and then cookie cut your watermelon. Super easy. Now I will tell you, this first watermelon I tried, I cut a little bit too thick, so I did kind of have to do some maneuvering. So if you're having a kiddo help you do this, just make sure that you're helping them, because the cookie cutter can be a little bit, sharp on one side, and you do kind of have to press it down just a bit. So I was able to get 1 bunny head and then 2 little carrots. Now this was the only size watermelon I could find at my Walmart, and so it was kind of small, but I was able to make some of them. And I will tell you that my daughter, when she came home, she was so excited for these treats, you guys. So if you have time to do some fun little Easter treats, these were really fun, and I will tell you they were really easy to do, honestly. I am not like a master chef in the kitchen by any means, so I like finding fun Easter treats, things that I can actually do. Oh, and these cute little bunny plates are the Pioneer Woman bunny plates, and they're so beautiful. They are paper, but oh my goodness, they're so beautiful, and they're on an end cap. They were kind of hidden away at my Walmart. They weren't in like the regular section, so I did a couple more of these. And again, this is a healthy snack idea, and you guys could, maybe served it with like some other little fruit mixed in with it. Once I got done, I was like, oh, I need some more fruit to pop into here. So I just popped in some little strawberries for when my daughter got home, and she could have like some little strawberries and some watermelon. And then that was a healthy treat to kind of offset the sugary bunny snack that we made. But boy, that bunny snack is delicious. Okay, so again, just making some more cute little carrot guys here. And this was easier to do with the thinner sliced watermelon. So the thinner you slice it, the easier it is to press that in. Just a little side note, if you're trying to do this with kiddos and you don't want it to make like a huge mess and for it to be hard. So here is how it turned out. So fun and fabulous. And again, those little cute little striped cups were from Walmart, and they came in like a pack for 98 cents. So I thought that was like a fun little splurge to kind of make it look a little bit more festive and Easter fun. And there's my loyal assistant, my trusty creative director, Benji Bear. He is in the studio working his magic as always, and he wants to say hi to you guys. So for the next DIY, we're going to create a beautiful mantle display on my mantle here, and I'm going to make a pretty little floral by using 2 pieces of greenery. So really just any greenery will do. And I did find this at Hobby Lobby, and they have their greenery 50% off. So that made it a little bit more price friendly, but I am going to give it a nice good fluffing here. And so I'm going to add 1 greenery to one side and then 1 greenery to the other. And you can see Benji Bear is directing the scene. He's going to tell me where to put these flowers, how much fluffing to do, how many bows we need. Really, he likes to bark at the TV. He loves watching TV, and he really likes when he sees birds come on. So Anyway, I'm going to take now and really dress this mantle up by adding in some pretty little flowers. So these are just flowers that I've kind of been collecting along the way that have some pretty spring colors. I got some of them at Dollar Tree, some of them at Walmart, and then a couple of them were from Michael's clearance section. I shared with you guys my after clearance finds at Michael's. They had pretty white and pink flowers. They had a little bit of glitter and frost on them, but they were Christmas flowers. So anyway, always check your after Christmas florals. You can get such a good deal on them, and a lot of times you'll be able to reuse them for the next season. So they had them on Christmas because they had they frosted and sparkle on them. Here's one of those roses, but to me they were gorgeous. So anyway, I also added some Dollar Tree wisteria to either side of my little mantle garland display here, and I'm just continuing to pop more flowers in. And again, these are just flowers that I've been kind of collecting that have some springtime colors to them. And there's that pretty Dollar Tree wisteria. I was so excited and impressed with how that looked this year. So anyway, I'm popping the wisteria in to kind of drape down the side, and then just some pretty roses in. And there's that bird. Benji Bears goes crazy with the birds. He likes to sit in the window and watch the birds or watch them on TV. And so this is on my TV. It's just playing. If you type into your YouTube search bar, just type in spring music, and you'll have like a 2 to 3 hour loop of beautiful spring music, and it'll have like pretty scenes that are for spring. I did that for Valentine's Day. I shared with you guys as well. Now I'm popping in some of those little Dollar Tree, like little yellow and pink little glitter balls that I had they come like in like a 4 or 5 pack on a stem. And I'm also popping in some of those pretty little checkered Hobby Lobby. These are kind of like an oversized, larger egg, and I'm just tying them on to my flowers. Now, for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to jazz up those Target Dollar Spot carrots. So I shared with you guys in my last video that Target has these little fabric carrots for $1, which I thought that was a great deal. I made fabric carrots of my own, but these were already pre-made and so beautiful. I can just add them into the ones I already have, but I decided to make a beautiful bow using my Easy Bow Maker, and this is about a 3-inch bow on either side if you're using your Easy Bow Maker, and I added about 3 to 4 loops. So basically I'm just making a really big beautiful bow to go on top of my carrot, so we're making a fabulous blooming carrot. I'm going to tie this bow off with a little pipe cleaner and then tie that on to my carrot, but I don't want to see the pipe cleaner, so I ended up taking some Dollar Tree pink ribbon and tying that over the pipe cleaner. That also helped secure my big bow on top of that. You could also make an Olivia bow too, just for reference. That's my little bow that I share with you guys how to make that requires no tools. So sometimes I like to get lazy and use my Easy Bow Maker, and then sometimes I like to make the Olivia bow. It just depends on how much work I've been doing and how tired my little hands are. So I'm giving my carrot a nice good fluffing, and then don't forget to dovetail your ends on your ribbon, and that's going to give you a nice little boutique finish. I think these are so beautiful, and I think that they would be so fun to make using an even larger oversized carrot. But now I'm going in with some pink ribbon, and this is just some Valentine's Day ribbon that I had left over. So really have fun with it, get creative, and use the ribbon that you might already have, or use some pretty ribbon that you find out and about. I know that everybody's been kind of having a little bit of a hard time finding Easter ribbon this year. I found some of mine at Hobby Lobby, and I also found some at Walmart. So just have fun with it and go for it and get creative. Make a pretty little bow for the top of your carrot, and it just really jazzed it up. I was so excited for how pretty these came out. I'm going to make some more for my dining room, but they are a little bit time consuming, but so fun in the end. I decided at the last minute to take some of this black and white check ribbon from the Dollar Tree and tie it onto my carrot. I just made a quick little shoelace bow and I doubled up my ribbon. So if you follow me, I like to tie like a little bow like you'd be tying a shoelace. And if you take and you double up the ribbon, that will help as well. And I will leave my bow video down below for you guys as well. So you give it a nice little good fluffing, and to hang these, you can just take a satin ribbon and loop it through one of the tops of your larger ribbons. So that way your carrot will hang evenly down. I was trying to figure out in my mind how to make sure that my carrot wasn't tilted backwards. So that's the best way to do it. Just loop it through one of the top loops of your bow, and then I tied it directly on to my little mantle piece. And then again, I decided to add it into some of my other carrots. I really like the way that the black and white check looks popped in against the pastels. So I thought that was just like a fun little dimension, but you guys could just use any ribbon and whatever colors you love for your displays. Now for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make an oversized bow for your mantle or your garlands or your wreaths or whatever. So I'm going to use my easy bow maker, and I'm going to start out with this black and white check ribbon, and I'm going to go side to side in about an 8-inch loop, and then you're going to trim that first ribbon off. The next layer, I'm going to use a polka dot pastel ribbon, and I did get these ribbons from Hobby Lobby. I did splurge a little bit on these ribbons because they are going to be like my main wow factor in this garland, and so I wanted them to be a certain particular look and also a certain color. And so I also love this little yellow ribbon. So anyway, you're going to go about 8 inches, and then I went 7 inches on my pink ribbon, and then on this black and white check ribbon I went 6 inches, and then I just kind of made it a little bit smaller as I went along. That way each layer could kind of show through. And I love the Easy Bow Maker because you can stack a really big bow without having to hold it in your hands. But you can also make a really big beautiful Olivia bow if you guys have seen that as well. So whatever floats your boat. With these layered ones, though, I do like to use my Easy Bow Maker. So this is going to give me a lot of dimension in with my display, and it's going to help me pull all of my colors together as well. Now I'm tying it off with a little pipe cleaner, and I'm going to tie it on to the end of my mantle where the garland part is. And then the next step is to give your bows a good fluffing. So I like to buy ribbon that has wire in it, and that way you can really fluff up your bows. So the next thing I want to do is add some of my little grass to the front part of my little mantle here. So Hobby Lobby has these squares of grass, and they're $4.99, but all of their spring stuff is 40% off. So you're going to automatically get 40% off of any Easter or spring goodies. Now the next thing I'm adding in is my little basket that I made 2 seasons back, and I've shared that with you guys on another DIY video. I'm adding in my bunny and then my cute little black and white check egg, and then just some pretty florals and greenery around it. Now I do change this up just a little bit because I end up using one of these baskets over in my dining room. But here's another little nest that I made. That's one of my chicken of the sea nests. So you just take like a little tuna can or chicken of the sea can, and you just add, a bunch of greenery around it until you make it into the shape of a nest. And then here's another one of my Dollar Tree DIY bunny baskets. And you guys, you can really make pretty baskets with moss and little Dollar Tree Easter baskets. So I decided to take one of these Dollar General baskets and tilt it sideways and make it look like it's like a tilted sideways blooming basket. It also is doing double duty and concealing our router that goes to our television back behind that one basket. So I did need it to be kind of big there. And then I just added another little basket. I had this from last season from Dollar General, and I tilted that one sideways as well. These are different sizes, but I think it's okay to kind of offset things just a little bit and make them different sizes. So here is how it came out, my entire mantle display. I had my cute little gnome I popped in there, and then my pretty little smaller gnome that we made using a Dollar Tree little Easter bunny. I've seen so many of you guys make so many cute DIYs with that Easter bunny, and a little basket I picked up from the thrift store, my little Target dollar spot bunny pillow. And then I just think it's blooming and ready for spring and Easter. And so I hope you guys get so much inspiration off of this and just some happy feel-good vibes. Now let me know what I should do with my pink tree over there. That was my trash to treasure project. It was headed for the dumpster and I painted it pink, my little ficus tree over there. I decorated it up for Valentine's Day, but I haven't figured out quite yet what I want to do for Easter, and I did so many DIYs in this video I just wasn't able to get to it, but I hope it gives you guys some inspiration. Now, I do have a $100 Hobby Lobby gift card that I am giving away. And so I have been leaving like little secret questions for you guys all throughout this video. And I'm going to announce the winner next Saturday. So I'm super excited to share that with you guys. But the secret question for you is, what is your favorite spring character or like just spring goodness? So when you think of spring, what do you think of? Is it like a bunny? Is it a butterfly? Like, what is your favorite little spring animal or character that you like to use in some of your displays? I really love to use bunnies. We have a lot of bunnies where I live, so we do see them in springtime. We also have butterflies, so I was inspired to use butterflies. But I would love to hear what your favorite little spring character is, or just spring animal that you love to see that gives you that little pop of spring. Of course, my absolute favorite spring character is my puppy dog Benji Bear, but the little bunnies and little birds and butterflies, they just really scream spring to me and just bring a smile to my face. So I'm interested to see what you guys comment and what really brings spring into your heart. I feel like spring is such a wonderful time for hope and love and joy, and we have so much to be thankful for every day that we pop out of bed and our eyes open and we're blessed with another day. So I just want to give you guys that and encourage you all. I am going to share a quick little recipe with you guys at the end of this video as well, so stay with me here. I know this was kind of an extra long video, but I feel like I just really wanted to give you guys so much inspiration and goodness and springtime Easter vibes. Okay, so I want to share with you guys one of my favorite things to do is to pick up one of those Caesar salad pack kits from Walmart. They are so delicious. I like to jazz mine up and add in some tomatoes and a little bit of onion, just to really kind of soup it up, and also some olives. And then I like to add in a little bit of Olive Garden dressing, and then I add in the dressing Caesar salad packet that it comes with. I then add in the croutons and some pepper and a little bit of salt, and I give it a really good mixy. So this was a family size and it fed all of us really nicely. I also did make some quick and easy chicken Alfredo to go with it. And so I thought this would give you guys an idea for maybe something to do for dinner. So for my Alfredo sauce, I usually use about 4 to 5 tablespoons of butter and then about a cup of heavy whipping cream. So I also just kind of eyeball it, so I really need to measure it out for you guys a little bit better, but I just thought it would give you guys an idea. But you're going to want to take and heat up your butter until it's really bubbling, and then you want to heat up your heavy whipping cream until it's bubbling. So once it's bubbling like this, like it's going to be really nice and bubbling, but you have to keep whisking it. That's one of the keys to making a good Alfredo. Then you're going to take some Parmesan cheese, and again, I just eyeball it, but I will say it's probably about half a cup at least. And while it's really nice and hot, you guys can see I have my temperature turned up really hot, like medium high. You're going to want to stir in that cheese and give it a good nice bubble. So Once it gets kind of stirred in there and that cheese gets in and I can feel it start to thicken, I will pull it off the heat because you don't want to burn it. And I am a cook that loves to do a little bit of taste testing. So to be honest with you, I do kind of taste test along the way. That way I know the consistency and also the taste. And plus it's just so darn delicious. So anyway, I add in a little bit of garlic salt and you can see it still bubbling, but I have completely turned my burner off. So just continue to kind of give it a little bit of a mixy. And then I usually don't add my chicken directly into here, but I thought I'd just make it quick and easy for my fam bam. When they come home, they can just scoop it right out. And then I add it in with noodles and all of that fun stuff. So here it is, how it turned out. So fun and easy and pretty budget friendly as well. Okay guys, so here is my thrift store outfit of the day. I found this really pretty kind of romantic top at my local thrift store. It probably needs to be ironed. And then I found this super cute, just kind of, it's just like, like a, overlay top. But it has this really pretty detail in the back, excuse me. And so it just like is kind of like a nice overlay if you don't want your arms to be shown. Now, if it was summer, I'd probably kick this off. And then I just have these really pretty little earrings. My local thrift store has gotten donations from a local boutique. So I have it paired with my Sofia Vergara jeans from Walmart. I don't have any shoes on because I'm getting ready to put on like my actual tennis shoes to be doing my decorating video. I cannot decorate in boots. I have neuropathy in my feet, so it's just a mom thing. But these would look super adorable with my little thrift store boots. In fact, actually, I will grab them and show them to you, just so we get kind of more of an idea. So like here, I would put, of course I would put socks on. Okay, and so I would just pair this with some little boots. I actually found these at the thrift store, believe it or not. We have some really Goodwills in my area, but we also drive like an hour north to get to some more larger thrift stores. So there you guys have it, my little thrift store outfit of the day. I just have the romantic flowy top, super comfy, and then just like a little nice coverage shirt. So the older I get, the more I like to have, just something that's going to kind of cover. And I even wear these like with tennis shoes and stuff. So, and just my little romantic pearl earrings. So I hope you guys love my thrift store outfit of the day. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. I hope you all are totally inspired to craft and decorate some amazing treasures for Easter and spring. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique, gorgeous, on a budget. You guys don't have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. Now listen, I am hosting a $100 Hobby Lobby gift card, so don't forget to comment and subscribe on this video. You guys also join me over on Facebook. I have a really fun and fabulous little group page going on where you guys can share pictures of your inspired home DIY and decor projects, and really just whatever DIYs you all are up to. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that I've shared with you guys, but I love to see what you guys are up to. You're so inspiring. So thank you guys for this wonderful community. All of your kind comments really mean the world. They uplift me and they uplift those who read them. I love y'all to the moon and back. I have so many fun videos planned for you, as well as giveaways. It's only going to get bigger and better through March. So I love y'all. I can't wait for our next video, but remember, until then, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.